Volkswagen have just outlined why their electric vehicle strategy is not a good one. Why their $180 billion in debt is essentially a noose that could potentially hang the company, and why they believe electric cars or electric pickup trucks and utes are just too hard, not worth doing, and well, you know what? Why they've given up on them. Now, first of all, I should point out that Chinese electric vehicle sales in Europe have skyrocketed within the past 6 months. I said this would happen. I know many of you said this as well. It is happening, and this is a very big danger to the Volkswagen Group. And when I say the Volkswagen Group, I'm talking about all the brands that they have under their portfolio. There's a lot of them. And guess what? The majority of these cars that they sell in Europe are made in Europe, and they are not cheap to make. The Chinese EVs being made in China are very affordable to manufacture. However, the Chinese companies are more than willing to make a loss in Europe in order to gain market share. It's exactly what they've done in China for the past 5 years in order to drive down the dominance of legacy automotive companies. What does that mean? Legacy auto, including in particular Volkswagen, who used to be the number one best-selling vehicle manufacturer in China, but has recently been surpassed by BYD, are losing market share in China big time. Why does this matter? Volkswagen's profits come from China. 50% of their profit for their entire global market comes from China. They're not manufacturing many EVs in China. They will lose the majority of those 50% of profits by the year 2030. It's simply inevitable. Their costs are too high. They do not evolve quickly. And here is proof. This information I'm about to share with you is proof this company is unable to evolve at the efficient speed that it needs to. It's a public spokesperson for Volkswagen basically saying it's all too hard. Volkswagen have just come out and said it. They've said the reason. In fact, they've claimed there is 3 reasons they don't have an electric pickup truck or an electric ute. It's not their fault. It's everyone else. Is this actually true? Let's have a look at the facts behind Volkswagen's claims and see if, well, it's not just a bunch of baloney from the company that brought us Dieselgate. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. My name's Sam Evans, and I'm coming to you from Melbourne in Australia. I'm back in Melbourne. It's great to be back. I love New South Wales. I love Newcastle. It's fantastic. But you've got to say, there's no place like home, is there? Now, thank you to our Patreon supporters and YouTube members. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter or a YouTube member, that'd be amazing. And also, I want to say a big thank you to those of you who have contacted me. I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to a lot of people's messages yet. I will endeavor to do so within the next 2 days, within the next 48 hours, just getting back into the swing of things back here in Melbourne. But I thank you for your messages about the cancer issue. I really appreciate your support there. And honestly, it has been a challenging few weeks. I've been doing everything I can to research this challenge. Some great stuff coming out with fasting, long-term fasting, which is amazing. Some of you have sent me that information. Thank you so much. It's the stuff that I wouldn't have discovered myself without your help. So really appreciate not just your help, but it just feels like your support as well. And that emotionally is it's been really a huge boost to me and also to my family as well. Volkswagen, this is a bit ridiculous. Come on. I mean, somehow General Motors, Ford, Tesla, Rivian can make a compelling electric pickup trucks. They are compelling. I mean, look how many awards the Rivian pickup truck has won. Ford, same thing. It's won a bunch of awards this year. I mean, look at the new Cybertruck. Look at the new way they've built this thing. Yes, it's not for sale yet. I'm sure it will be, though, this year. Yet Volkswagen are way behind. They, in fact, haven't started developing an electric pickup truck. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to get Magna. Basically, Magna are a manufacturing company that manufacture vehicles for legacy automakers. They've made vehicles for lots of different automakers. That automaker won't tell you that it's not their car, that Magna's really making it for them. It's called Magna Steer, actually. So Volkswagen have said, well, we can't make one, so we don't have the resources to do so. Magna, can you do it for us? How much will it cost us? Is this something that will work for us? So realistically, is there any truth to Volkswagen's claims that, electric pickup trucks or electric utes don't work for these 3 reasons? Now, what are the 3 reasons or the 3 excuses that Volkswagen have given. Well, first of all, I've got to say, I don't agree with any of these reasons. I actually think they're factually wrong. And I actually think Volkswagen has gone down a path of self-destruction ever since they fired Herbert Diess. It was like the first domino. I could be wrong though. Let me know your thoughts on that. Volkswagen says that infrastructure, as in electric vehicle infrastructure, resale, and battery technology are all holding back electric pickups. And the key reason why they don't have any. Really? Is this true? Well, for one, right? For one, Ford, soon to be General Motors, and Rivian don't seem to have any problems with any of that. They don't. I mean, realistically, they make compelling vehicles right now. Sure, they could have more range. They will in the future. I mean, Tesla's pickup truck, I'm sure, will have more range. GM's new Silverado electric pickup truck, it's going to have more range. Yeah, more range will come as time goes on. Sure. Does that mean we can't start driving electric pickup trucks today simply because of these reasons? I don't think so. In fact, this is a bunch of baloney. But here's what Volkswagen had to say. They claim that there are lots of hurdles to overcome before electric utes become popular. And it seems to me as though they're doing the electric revolution a serious, major disservice by telling people this information, which is clearly incorrect. Volkswagen says that because its vehicles don't work very well in winter, as in its EVs have way less range in winter, that therefore EVs don't work in winter. You really see the complete difference between summer and winter when you drive the ID4, said Volkswagen's commercial manager. And I personally raised this internally. The city guys would like to come to some kind of the picnics here, and then standing next to a very nice car, it's somewhere near the charger, and they are happy. But, he said, I still don't see the timing is in the next 2 or 3 years. If you ask me personally, I do see somewhere in the second half of the decade. In other words, Volkswagen is saying, yeah, electric pickup trucks won't work until the second half of the decade, as in at least 2 or 3 years away, minimum. I mean, why is it that everyone else is disagreeing with Volkswagen? Why are Volkswagen saying it's all too hard, they won't work? To me, this sounds like the way to approach it if you don't have a product. This sounds exactly like Toyota. While Volkswagen has committed to electrifying its Ford-based dual cab ute at some point in the future, no one knows when exactly, it won't be able to do so for at least 3 or more years. That's what they're saying now. When asked specifically which hurdles were slowing the development of battery electric dual cab utes and pickup trucks, the company said both infrastructure and battery technology are holding them back. The thing is, infrastructure is growing at an incredible rate. And realistically, 95% or more of charging happens where? At home. Most people who drive a vehicle actually don't drive it any more than about 25 miles per day. So those people, most of the time, and I'm talking 90+% of the time, don't need more than 500 kilometers of range, which is easily achievable now. That's 300 miles. That's doable. Easily doable with our current technology. I mean, if Volkswagen can't figure it out, just give CATL a call. Call them and ask them, can we please use your new batteries? We've seen them. We've heard all about the Kieran battery. We've heard all about the M3P batteries. Can we use them? And I'm sure CATL will say, for a price, my friends, you can have as many as you want. But for some reason, Volkswagen think that's too hard. I mean, what's going on? They go on to say, I don't know what the situation is in Australia. You can see we have in Germany a good infrastructure, but the situation in Germany is not the same in the UK, where it is horrible. Wow, okay. Clearly Germany has a thing about the UK, it appears. I mean, at least people working for Volkswagen. So if you go somewhere and you see that you have some 20-kilometer distance and you see where your navigation is bringing you when you're coming there and then it doesn't work, this is the problem. And the European Union said that there is a task really to double or triple the infrastructure, but also it's coming somewhere by around 2027. So it will be exactly like this, with a combination of the new level of batteries that you bring in for the mass production, and also not only on those guys which are coming here for the picnic. Doesn't make any sense. This sounds like a whole bunch of gibberish to me. Whoever this guy is at Volkswagen, I don't know. I think maybe he's not a good spokesperson for the company, put it that way. Now, the reality is infrastructure in Europe is actually extremely impressive. The reality is infrastructure is growing at an incredible pace, an insane pace. People just don't realize because they're not looking at the facts. Infrastructure is being built out very, very quickly. In many countries in Europe, gasoline stations, petrol stations, they're actually installing electric chargers. Electric chargers are being installed all over many countries around the planet. Now, in addition to that, Mr. Salk from Volkswagen, I'm going to call him Salky, has also said that the impact that rapid advancements might have on residuals of current generation technologies. In other words, he's saying, well, we don't sell any electric pickup trucks because resale value might not be very good. Maybe he should be more worried about the resale value of the gasoline-powered vehicles that they sell, because they are what's going to be obsolete. Sure, there will be better vehicles, right? There will be better EVs coming out next year and the year after and the year after. And for the next 100 years in a row, that will continue to happen. Every single year that will happen. That's what happens with new technology. That's what happens with Moore's law. But if you simply say, we can't sell EVs because technology will improve and resale value of previous models will go down, then basically you can never sell an EV ever. That excuse doesn't fly. And it doesn't make any sense at all. He said, the problem with an electric car is the rest value of the car, the resale value, is not so high. As you have it with internal combustion engine cars, the new battery is much cheaper. I'm not sure what he even meant there, but anyway. So you are losing complete value, because as of now, we can do very good business with ICE, because if you buy a Tiguan or a Golf, I can sell it after 2 or 3 years, and I lose 10% or 15%. But if I do this with a new Amarok, if it was electric, then I can sell it in 2 years for a 50% discount, and the new one will be 30% cheaper. And this is exactly the problem with the business case. In other words, Volkswagen thinks the value of its EVs will be worth nothing in 2 years' time. Is this actually true? Well, if you look at the current resale values of Volkswagen's EVs after 2 years, there's not a single country on the earth where Volkswagen's EVs are worth 50% less after 2 years of ownership. None. This is factually wrong. This is straight out a lie. There is absolutely no proof whatsoever. In fact, I spent an hour doing this, researching the resale values of Volkswagen's EVs in Germany, in France, in the United States. You know what? Every country where they sell them, I had a quick look, and there is no evidence that any of them have lost 50%. In fact, if they had, people would be clamoring for them, running as fast as they could. Give me one, please, I'm coming. Please, I'll take a 50% discount. There's no proof of this. It's complete nonsense. Now, it appears to me as though Volkswagen is saying the cost of a battery pack is too expensive for them to make an electric ute pickup truck viable. Somehow, other companies can do it. For some reason, Volkswagen cannot. For example, in China, there's currently electric pickup trucks. There's a number of different models, and in fact, they're not expensive. Also, there's a whole bunch of new ones coming. If Volkswagen isn't willing to make one, others will. They will simply lose market share. I've predicted that Volkswagen will fall off the market share table. It'll go from being second, sometimes first in the world, to maybe fourth, fifth, or sixth at absolute best case scenario by 2030. At Fully Charged, live, I'll give you more information on what I think will happen to Volkswagen. I can tell you now, it is not good. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.